Hey guys, it's Miss Forbes here, and I am so excited that it's almost time to go back to school. One of the things that I know that I do really well, and hopefully I can help some of my fellow teachers out there, specifically in my field, teaching high school, is talking about my power dynamic in my classroom and basically how I don't really have a lot of behavior issues because I've managed to figure out how to balance that power dynamic in the classroom. So I avoid power struggles. And I have a couple of ways that I do that. The first way, and I have a little list written down here, y'all. So if you see me looking, I'm looking at my list. The first way is that I'm respectful to all my students. When students come into my classroom, I want them to feel welcome. I want them to feel respected. I value respect. I, to the max, want to be respected as a teacher, as a professional, as an adult, as a just mother, parent, etc. So, in order for me to receive that energy, I feel as though I need to give it out. So, I'm respectful to students. I don't talk down to them. I don't belittle them in front of their classmates. And I care about them. I'm very respectful of them. And I think respect goes a long way, especially when you're dealing with high school students, because I do deal with high school students 4 years now. And that's one of the biggest things I think that they also appreciate the most is the fact that I'm respectful of them and I don't treat them like their children or belittle them or anything like that. The second thing is I tend to offer a lot of options to my students when it comes to different things. So I let them vote on a lot of stuff. So let's say, for example, it's a Friday coming up and there's a little bit of wiggle room in the schedule. I may ask them, hey guys, what do you want to do? What do you guys want to do? Here are the options. You guys vote. And guess what? Whatever they vote, more than likely, I'm going to go with that. Just little things like that, offering them to have a voice in the classroom, to have more of a say what's going on, to give them options and not make it seem like what I say goes, period, case closed. I don't have that type of attitude. So that's another way that I avoid power struggles in my classroom. And I don't have a lot of students who give me attitude or lip or anything like that. It's very, very rare that I have had a situation like that. The third thing that I do to, sort of balance that power dynamic in my classroom is that I listen to student suggestions. So at the end of the year, most of the time what I'll do is I'll give out basically like what's it called? Like not review, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Like at the end of the year, you do like a course review, right? And I ask them different questions about the class. What did you like? What didn't you like? What do you think that we can improve about the class? What do you think Miss Forbes can improve as a teacher? And I listen to what they have to say and I implement those changes so that they feel comfortable. Sometimes it's in the middle of the year, sometimes it's at the end of the year, sometimes it's on the fly, but I use my teacher spidey senses, my teacher senses. If I can sense that something is off, then I address it with my students and allow them to give me feedback, and I try my best to implement them because no matter how great of a teacher you are, no matter how many years you've been teaching, you don't know everything. I don't know everything. I'm a master teacher and I'm proud of that, but I'm never getting to the point where I feel like I know everything and that I'm just always right and I don't have any changes to make or areas to improve in. When you start to do those types of things and think like that, you're stunting your own growth as a professional. Who wants to stunt their growth? Not me. Anyway. So that is a couple of things that I do. And kind of to start all of that stuff off, one of the things that I do is I set expectations at the beginning of the school year that are reasonable. And I also allow students to give me feedback on the expectations, right? For example, if I say, okay, the policy for late work this year is going to be that after 10 days of assignment not being turned in, it's going to lock and you may not turn it in after that. I will ask students, do you believe that this is fair and reasonable? Do we have a mutual agreement that this is the expectation? And if that expectation is not met, that this is the consequence? Most of the time, guys, when I do that, students respond really well and they determine, yeah, that's fair. So I think those things are important. If you're having struggles, like I think an imbalance in power in your classroom can lead to behavior problems. If you want to avoid those things, maybe try to practice some of those things that I talked about. So one is being respectful and kind to students. Two is giving them options 3 is listening to their suggestions and actually implementing them. And 4, setting expectations and allowing students to determine and agree to those expectations, right? So, for example, school is about to start here for my district in a couple of weeks. And I've heard this from several teachers, even veteran teachers, that say, the first week of school, the first 2 weeks of school, you need to play hardball and you need to be mean and you need to be firm. And then as time goes on, loosen up. Well, that's never really been my energy. It's just not who I am. I'm not able to fake that funk. So I don't start off mean. I'm not, I'm myself and I'm nice. I'm a kind person. And I feel like being kind goes a long way. Even with kids who are older. Do I get frustrated sometimes? Yes. But I keep it real with my students and I let them know when they're pushing the limit and when I'm not with it. So, and that's just, the population in which I teach, they receive it very well. Okay. So those are the things that I suggest if you want to maintain a healthier balance of power in your classroom. So you guys let me know what you're thinking. What are some things that you need advice on as a teacher? What are some things that you struggle with? Is it classroom management? Is it engaging students? Is it just being you? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if this video was helpful. Thank you, scholars, for stopping by.